So, today we're diving into a piece of software that has this really weird reputation in the art world. It's called Pixelmash. It's a pixel art tool that people seem to either absolutely hate or completely fall in love with. There's almost no in between. So yeah, let's figure out what is going on here.
And that's the big question, right? You go on a platform like Steam, you'll see a whole bunch of thumbs down reviews for Pixelmash. But then you start digging and you find these artists who just swear by it. They say it's completely revolutionized how they create. So how can one tool get so much criticism and at the same time, so much love?
But then you see something like this. This quote comes from a user who has over 20 years of experience with computer graphics. Now, for anyone in that field, picking up a brand new program and learning all the main functions in just half an hour, that's practically unheard of. And getting that kind of glowing praise from a seasoned pro is what makes this whole divide so fascinating.
Okay, so let's really unpack that. What did this expert see that so many others might have missed? Their whole experience suggests that the people who get Pixelmash, who really love it, have clicked with one key idea, something really fundamental about how it works. And here it is. The secret isn't about having better drawing tools or fancier brushes. It's about a total shift in the process of making pixel art. It's a completely different way of thinking, and it changes, well, pretty much everything.
And that big idea, that new way of thinking, it all comes down to a concept called a non-destructive workflow. I know it sounds a little technical, but this one term is the absolute key to understanding both the praise and the criticism. So let's break down what it actually means.
Okay, so what on earth does that mean? Well, instead of drawing pixel by single pixel, you're actually working with a high-resolution image, kind of like a vector. Then the software creates the pixel art version for you, live, on the fly. And the most important part is that your original high-res art is always there. It's never lost. You can make huge changes, resize it, rotate it, whatever, without ever destroying your original work.
This table right here, it just lays it all out perfectly. With the traditional method, every single pixel you place is this permanent decision. Want to rotate something? Good luck. You're probably going to have to redraw the whole thing to avoid it looking like a jagged mess. But with Pixelmash, you just rotate the high-res layer and bam, the software figures out the new pixels for you. Same goes for animation. Instead of redrawing frame after frame, you're just moving layers around. It's a completely different ballgame.
So, okay, this non-destructive thing sounds cool in theory, but what does it actually get you? What are the superpowers it unlocks? Well, it turns out it enables some features that can save artists and game developers an incredible amount of time. Well, for starters, because you're not locked in, you can apply an outline or shading as an effect. You can change its thickness or color at any time. You can animate a character just by moving a layer, not by redrawing it a dozen times. You can finish your artwork and then export it at 32 by 32, and then 64 by 64, and then 128 by 128, all from the same file with zero quality loss. It's all about flexibility. And the best part? Getting started is ridiculously simple. It really just boils down to these 3 steps. First, you draw or import your art in high-res. Second, you start adding effects, just like you would in Photoshop. And third, you just use a simple slider to pick your final pixel resolution, and the software does all the heavy lifting for you. All right, so we've talked a lot about the what and the why. But look, the only way you're really going to know if this polarizing tool is for you is to try it yourself. And the good news is, there's a totally risk-free way to do exactly that.
And a quick tip before we go any further. You probably shouldn't pay full price for it. Keep an eye out for discounts, which are usually around this number.
So here's the game plan. It's super simple. First, you're going to find Pixelmash on Steam. Second, add it to your wish list so you get a notification during the big summer and winter sales when it usually gets a nice discount. And third, and this is the most important part, you use Steam's amazing 2-hour refund policy. You can get a full refund on pretty much any game or software as long as you've used it for less than 2 hours.
That 2-hour window, that's your golden ticket. It's basically a free trial. It's more than enough time to see if this workflow just clicks for you. Hey, remember that expert with 20 years of experience? They figured out everything they needed in just 30 minutes. You can have that exact same experience, test out all the core features, and make up your own mind, all without spending a cent.
So there you have it. That's the story of Pixelmash. It's a tool built on one really powerful, revolutionary idea. It's definitely not for everyone, but for some artists, it's a total game changer. And that kind of leaves us with one last question to think about. What could you create if you never had to worry about a decision being permanent? If you knew your original idea was always safe?